Hello there. While the President of the EU Commission, Jean-Claude Juncker, says that the EU is not negotiating in a hostile mood, Donald Tusk, the EU Council President, said that the UK could still stay in the European Union. Speaking in the European Union Parliament, the two presidents put forth their views on the latest Brexit developments. Let's start with Jean-Claude Juncker, the President of the EU Commission, who embarrassingly for him spoke to a largely empty EU Parliament chamber. Again, if you remember, the last time he was there, he lambasted the MEPs for their poor attendance that day and said he would never attend its meetings again. Anyway, he did, and he laid into the UK and said that anyone wanting a no-deal outcome to the Brexit talks had no friends in the Commission. I would like to say that the Commission is not negotiating in a hostile mood, he said. We want a deal. Those who don't want a deal, the no-dealers, they have no friends in the Commission. We want a fair deal. We would and we will have a fair deal. The no deal is not our working assumption. And Donald Tusk, the President of the EU Council, said that it was up to the UK if we had a Brexit deal, a no deal, or even a Brexit reversal. No one can divide the 27 in these negotiations, he said. Ahead of us is still the toughest stress test. If we fail it, the negotiations will end in our defeat. We must keep our unity regardless of the direction of the talks. The EU will be able to rise to every scenario as long as we are not divided. It is in fact up to London how this will end, with a good deal, no deal, or no Brexit. But in each of these scenarios, we will protect our common interest only by being together. So Theresa May goes with an open hand and an offer to work together for the good of both parties, but the EU wants to treat it as a competition, with winners and losers. But it's his reference to no Brexit that is most surprising. Does Mr Tusk really think that the UK government is going to commit political suicide by attempting that one? Not only that, the route is set out in Article 50 and there is no off button or reverse gear built into the procedure. All that was done and dusted prior to triggering the one-way process. And I would expect a group of leavers to emerge and legally challenge any such move. It's not just Remainers that can go to court over Brexit, you know. At least a government spokesperson came out and said, Brexit is not going to be reversed. But the Labour Shadow Foreign Secretary, Emily Thornberry, has other ideas. She wants Brexit stopped if there is no deal. Speaking on the Mar Show on Sunday, she said, I think we are heading for no deal. I think that is a serious threat to Britain, and it is not in Britain's interest for that to happen, and we will stop it. Doesn't she realise that just gives heart to the EU negotiators? Actually, sadly, I expect she does. But there is a strengthening of opinion that WTO rules are the way forward for the UK. In his blog, John Redwood wrote, It is quite clear from the different tone of remarks coming from Mrs Merkel, the Commission and elsewhere within the EU that they are very worried at just how popular the WTO model is with many voters. And he went on to say, I suggest the government starts from a different perspective. It should remind the EU that a deal will only be acceptable if it is indeed better than the WTO no-deal option. That does not leave scope for giving money away we do not owe or for accepting continuing EU jurisdiction. And that is the real headache for the European Union. Our current membership terms are worse than WTO terms given the amount we pay in both political and economic terms to be in the bloc. So where do they go from here? What do you think? Please leave a comment below. Thank you. Please do like and share this video. And also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. Thank you very much for watching.